So how does someone go from just, a regular college kid to a major player in national politics? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. The story of Charlie Kirk. It's really more than just about one guy. It's kind of like a masterclass in how political influence is built in our super connected digital world. We're going to break down exactly how he did it, the key moves, the strategies that made him such a huge voice in American conservatism. All right, check this out. This quote really says it all. Charlie Kirk didn't just join the mainstream, he reshaped it. I mean, wow, think about that for a second. That's a huge claim, right? It's not just saying he got a seat at the table. It's saying he basically redesigned the whole table. He changed the rules of the game. So the big question is, how on earth did he pull that off? It all kicks off with this one number, 18. Yeah, you heard that right. Back in 2012, when he was just 18 years old, Charlie Kirk makes this massive decision to drop out of college. And for what? To start his own organization, which he called Turning Point USA. I mean, that's a pretty gutsy move for a teenager, right? It was totally driven by this specific vision he had, and man, did it set the stage for everything to come. Okay, so his game plan from the start, it was genius, really, because of how simple and focused it was. Instead of trying to talk to everybody, he went straight for college campuses. Why? Because that's where the next generation of voters and leaders are. He gave them this really powerful, super easy to share message about free speech and limited government. And here's the key part. He used social media not just as some extra tool, but as his main weapon. That was the secret sauce that let this tiny idea just explode and spread all over the country, becoming one of the fastest growing youth networks in America. But, being a big deal on campus can only get you so far. If he wanted to reach a national audience, Kirk knew he had to become a media powerhouse in his own right. So what did he do? He launched his own daily podcast, The Charlie Kirk Show, and started popping up all over major news channels. But the real magic, his true genius, was figuring out the art of the viral moment. He got incredibly good at creating these short, punchy, provocative clips, sound bites that were practically designed to just blow up online. And this gets to the absolute heart of his strategy. Kirk figured out something super early on that a lot of people missed. In today's world, the algorithm is power. See, it wasn't enough to just have a message. You had to master the platforms, the social media sites that deliver that message. And by doing that, he could completely bypass the traditional gatekeepers, the big media companies, and talk directly to millions of people. He was literally shaping huge national conversations right from his keyboard and microphone. So, how did his influence go from big to, well, massive? This timeline here shows us the exact moment things went into overdrive. 2016. That was the year Kirk aligned himself super closely with Donald Trump's presidential campaign. And let me tell you, that one move was a total game changer. It was pivotal. All of a sudden, he had access to the absolute highest levels of the Republican Party, and it just put his organization on a rocket ship to explosive growth. And the result of that alliance? It was absolutely transformative. The Trump era basically launched Turning Point USA from this scrappy grassroots student movement into a major political powerhouse. We're talking huge funding, massive events like their Student Action Summit. It was what really cemented Kirk's place on the national stage. No question about it. Now, of course, when you rise that fast, you're going to get a ton of praise and a ton of criticism, right? It just comes with the territory. His supporters will tell you he did something amazing. He mobilized an entire generation of young conservatives and gave them a platform, a real voice. But on the flip side, his critics raise some serious questions. They point to what they call divisive messaging and rhetoric, and they also ask a lot of questions about where all of his organization's funding comes from. And look, both sides of this are a crucial part of his story. So where does all this leave him today, in 2025? Well, his influence is still spreading out, like ripples in a pond. When it comes to youth activism, he's absolutely a central voice. His media presence, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And maybe the most important thing is this. His online strategies, the ones he pioneered, they're now being studied and copied to shape campaign tactics all across the Republican Party. So this isn't some history lesson. This is all happening right now. When you step back and look at the whole thing, Charlie Kirk's journey from a college campus to the very center of American politics, it's really a story about how media, sharp strategy, and perfect timing can come together to create an incredibly powerful new voice. And his story's definitely not over yet, which kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. Is he a unifier, a disruptor, or maybe he's a little bit of both?